Hello, everybody. Um, I said in my video late last night that I would. I did read the diary entry from January 29th, 1984, which was the last time I saw my father alive. It's better without my glasses on. My mother had taken us out of the home. My nana, my dad's mother, and my brother and I, and my mom, and we moved into my grandma and pap's house, her parents, temporarily. We even took our bird. She found what she thought were all of the empty bottles, or, whatever bottles she could find of liquor, and she emptied them all out, and she laid them, or, put them on the kitchen counter for him to find when he got home from work as a Cook County sheriff here in Illinois. And he was working second shift. He would have had to have been to be out of the house in the evening. So we had left. This was, I don't know, I put it in my diary a couple of days before. Was it 29? We're still at Grandpa's. Okay, we went to stay with my grandpa on January 25th. So January 29th, which was a Sunday. Oh, just real quick, getting back to the liquor bottles that were all over the place. I knew where he hid them. And I knew where he hid them because I cleaned house. I cleaned, vacuumed under the couches and such. And, those like little tiny bottles of vodka that you would get on an airplane, things like that. They were all over the place. And I was the protector. I did not want my daddy to get in trouble with my mommy. So I never said a word. He had a workshop, like a tool workshop in the basement of our house, filled with vodka bottles. I did not want my dad to get in trouble. I knew they were there, and to be honest, I don't remember if I did or I didn't end up telling her that, hi Lucas, telling her that they were stored there. Because, no, I was not going to let my daddy get in trouble. So we go to my grandpa's house, and he's there alone. And he's getting more and more paranoid the sicker he gets. 2 failed interventions. Interventions don't work. Don't ever do interventions on people who you think need intervention with drug or alcohol problems. Don't even go there. Don't do that. Don't do that to people. It never works. Trust me. Trust me. That's what 4 years of graduate school in psychology will do you. And for all practical purposes, of course. So we left, and so the 29th, which was yesterday, was a Sunday in 1984. And we go back to the house to get more clothes. And my dad is in his usual chair, his, rocker, sofa-y chair, lazy boy. And he was having an old style and smoking cigarettes. And, I don't know, he's watching a ball game or something. He might have been watching football or something like that. When we came in, he was crying. And, I went and sat on his lap. And this was after the 2 failed interventions, mind you. And I was sitting on his lap, and we were both just crying and crying and crying. And I do remember telling him, Daddy, please go to the hospital. Please go to the hospital and get better, because we want to come home. And he was holding me in his lap, and I was hugging him like I was a baby, like I was a little girl. I was a little girl. I was only 11. I'm just saying, please, Daddy, please go to the hospital. Please go to the hospital. Please get help. He had been drinking every day since he was 20 years old, and this was when he was 42. He also had major unresolved and untreated psychiatric problems, which were a big hush-hush in the 80s, as was not properly medically detoxing addicts. Anyway, my Uncle Jerry was there. I love my Uncle Jerry more than life itself, basically, trust me. But he yelled down, "Annie, your mother wants you for something." And I remember saying, "What does she want?" And Uncle Jerry said, "Well, you need to go up there and see what she wants." I said, "I'm not moving. I'm not moving. I'm not getting out of my daddy's lap." And just, you know, that whole cliche of the songs written, "If I knew today would be the last day I saw you, I would never leave your arms," or, you know, "I would hold you so tight." And it is such an unresolved, I mean, death of your parent isn't really closure, and now it's 35 years later. There is still no closure. And in my heart of hearts, I knew that he had suffered enough, and he had saved enough lives on his own by being a firefighter and paramedic and Cook County Sheriff. He had saved enough lives. He did what the Lord wanted him to do, and it was time for him to stop suffering. Still in all, I think leaving the home, having to have left the home and left him there breaks my heart, because I just wonder what he was thinking when he was by himself, left by himself with 2 guns, because he had them for work. That was real smart, Mom. Good job. So today is the 30th, and let's see what the entry is for today. Monday, January 30th, 1984. Well, the beginning of a new school week. I got my report card. 7 A's, exclamation point. I went ice skating and sledding with Patty. Then we did our homework. Mr. Peel assigned 12 current event stories for Tuesday. Bummer. Yuck. Andrea. Tomorrow, the 31st, gets a little bit more eventful with regard to what was going on with my dad. I'm looking in his little box, the little box I got of things of his, and just randomly, I had this thing that says, Dear Dad, Christmas star, love, St. Lucia, Andrea Michaelis, star, Q-tip, Q-tip, Q-tip. I had to look up, because I'm not real familiar with St. Lucia, what she is the patron saint of, and I'm not super good with figuring out Catholic stuff. But evidently she was a prostitute, for one thing. Awesomeness. And secondly, I think what made her a patron saint was that she was impervious to fire flames. And maybe he taught us about that, or taught me about that. I really don't know if I learned that in Sunday school. Couldn't tell you. But, yeah, I signed at St. Lucia, so I was impervious to flames. That's kind of cool. I think that's kind of cool. So, yeah, it's getting to be the the most difficult time of the year in my life ever that there is. And just kind of mourn alone. I try not to, be too obvious about it in my, normal life. And it could be the reason why my mom has been so mean and so angry and so rude and so impossible, like the last week. That maybe this date creeping up is, harder for her than I realize or that she even wants to talk about. This is his wedding ring, by the way. Dad had small fingers because Dad was small. Dad had like a Napoleon complex. He was 5'6", if that. I'm 5'8". Like if I was with my father now, I'd be here and he'd be down there, and it'd be so cute because I'd cuddle him constantly. So yeah, today is January 30th, and things get more eventful. Just how much I miss him. It's crazy every day. But I'll let you go. 11 and a half minutes. Forgot to take my chemotherapy this morning, so I'm gonna take it, conk out for an hour or two, and come back out. Wind chill is 41 below zero right now, so it's super cozy. But this is my electric blanket. If I think of anything else about Dad, put it in tomorrow. Adios. And do widzenia, dobranoc, wyszkodaną.